Just in the first 2 or 3 hours, there aren't any posers in the room. To your point, these are people that have actually, are doing what they recommend you to do. They're succeeding at a very, very high rate, and that's uncommon. You have to have the right person to attend this type of meeting, right? I think that as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, or a manager of a larger business, then I think you're looking for ideas. You're looking for a different approach. You're looking for the new strategy that'll help propel you to the next level. Because again, as an entrepreneur, I can sit in the room in my office and lather myself up and think I've got the greatest thing going. But I lose perspective at times. This is a great workshop because there are so many posers out there. There are a lot of people that talk a big game but really can't execute. And one of the things I've been impressed by is just, through the 3 or 4 speakers that you've already had is just incredibly successful people. They already got it figured out. And that's what, successful people like to be around other successful people.
Really, the entrepreneur that I would recommend this for is probably the one that thinks they don't know why they would even come, right? Because effectively what can happen is as you grow your business, you can reach a place where you think you've got it all figured out, right? That you're the big kahuna. And the reality of it is that you can live in a box that doesn't allow you to grow because you're not getting a fresh perspective from people who are at a much higher level than you are. Right? And so, it's funny, I run one of these, again, in the real estate space, and when someone tells me something like, I don't have time to be there, I will say, you know what, that in fact is the very reason you should. Because if you can't take a couple of days away from your business, are you a slave to it or is it a slave to you? And I've actually been doing this for 6 years. This is, Mike is just birthing this and just breathing life into it. And there are moments throughout the process where I've actually felt like the student was teaching the teacher. He's accomplished some things. This very first meeting that I started doing 5 years or 6 years into where I'm at, and I was just very impressed from the get-go. Anytime you're invited to a mastermind, if you've never experienced one, you're kind of like, I've heard the term before, what is that really like? And ultimately, I think when you walk in here to the room at the Board of Advisors, you find yourself immediately in an environment full of players, right? A lot of times what happens is when you reach a certain level of success, the people that are around you or the people in your space have a different set of problems because they're not where you are. And so a lot of times you don't have a group of resources, or if you will, a board of advisors to help you through the challenges that you have in your business, right? And so the cool part about coming to Mike's mastermind and the board of advisors is that's effectively what you get, right? A lot of high income earners are in this group, and basically we get to come in here, not only share our successes with the group, so you can take those strategies and systems and resources and share with folks what's making you successful so they can do the same, but you also get to run through a process of saying, hey, here are my top 3 challenges. Can you guys act as my board of advisors and help me push through those challenges? I think one of the cool things about coming in here is a lot of times when you're in a particular industry, you hang with the folks in your particular industry, right? So you can be too close to your business and not really have the right set of eyes to know how to address your problems. And so the cool part about, I think, coming to the board of advisors is that you get a bunch of different folks from different industries who are not closely knit and tied into what you do. And so they get to look at your challenges and your issues with a different set of eyeballs.
So I'm Jenny Hott, and I own Brilliant Etc. I'm one of the top bloggers in the world with over 100 million visitors. This wasn't a pitch fest. This wasn't a lot of entry-level people, which is what you usually find. This was my peers, and I don't usually find groups like that, so I really, really, really feel appreciative of that. Oh my gosh, we're talking about like global change. That's amazing. I mean, I was inspired to give all of my secrets, things that other marketers have been asking me for to make money from, and I haven't felt right about making money from it. I just want to give it. I want to help people, and I was inspired to give that over to someone that is doing it for a bigger cause. Every single person here has had something that's been able to challenge me, to ask new questions and think like, okay, now I can reach that next step that I really want to do. So every single person has had an absolute gem, like a life-changing gem. It's priceless. Well, when I walked in the first day, I was really surprised because everybody kept coming up and saying, "Hi, my name is Laura. What do you do? How are you doing?" Blah, blah, blah. I don't usually experience that. Usually, first time you come into a room, everybody's quiet until at least after lunch. Nobody speaks to each other until after lunch. So this was very different, and it's been interesting to get to know everybody, that they're really eager to serve. How can I help you? Has been the approach, instead of what can you do for me? What connection can I make? I'm here to network. I'm here to make more money. It's been more about how can I serve? Everybody here has been about serving. I think too, because we're already at that level, we've already been successful, we're looking for that next level. We want to serve on a different level. We don't just want to, reinvent the wheel. We want to create the next version of a wheel, something whole different level. I will say this is not like any mastermind or any event I've ever been to. And I've been to a lot, and I've avoided a lot because they were so bad. I already called people.
You've already begun recommending.
Yeah, I have 2 people coming after lunch.
Fantastic, fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm in a room full of people who have an opinion that I respect, and I don't really. I think, as you mentioned, with the athlete can do this, that, and the other. Well, the athlete can excel at many sports because he's fast or he can jump high. So some of my strengths are specific, whether it's social media or networking or creative marketing strategy. It just so happens that the different ventures are the sports. As many different things as I have going on, it's hard to step back and see. And I think that when you can construct a venture or a business that doesn't have holes that anybody can find or poke, that's a winner. That's rock solid winner, a home run. The right person would be somebody who is mature enough in business to realize that they have faults. Whether that be a CEO or whether that be somebody who has tried multiple things, failed, made 7 figures, lost it all. Ones who realize that they're are broken. I'm in my early 30s, and a lot of the guys and girls in my age group are bulletproof. They're only focused on the grind. They're only focused on crushing it. And I think that is not a good demographic for here. You have to come to a point in your life and mind where you realize that certain things matter. And one of the common threads here are that I've noticed right off the bat is the give back and the charitable interest and the philanthropic mentality. And I think that is a good indicator of people who have come to a mature place in life and business that can recognize synergies that aren't necessarily monetary. I think in business, everything is more than money. People do business with those who they know, like, and trust, and I don't think there's a better way to really dig into the person than to find out what they do professionally, personally, philanthropically, right? I think this is a great place to learn about people and realize who you want to collaborate with on efforts, whether they be profitable or not.
Awesome caliber room. I'm happy to be in the group for that alone, let alone the 5 or 6 ideas that I'm able to take back to my business now. If the start of this event is any key to where it's going, it's an amazing investment. It's a no-brainer. The room's real. It's authentic, and you're going to want to literally share because you're going to feel inadequate if you don't, and you're going to be vulnerable, and they're going to help you on your real stuff. So don't come here thinking you got to sell people and do what you got to do. As a matter of fact, just be you, be the best part of you, and you'll get the most out of it, and you'll give the most at the same time. And who should be in the board of advisors? I think a business that's doing 7 figures and above already could be a good fit. I think if you're a newer business, but you can write the check, I think you got to have the potential to be growing. And if you're not dedicated to your business, like investing in yourself and growing it, and it's a problem for you to make that time and invest it, you don't see that importance, then I don't encourage you to go invest in the board of advisors because you don't get it. If you're not sure, come. You'll see it. You'll gain the wisdom behind it. Where can you go to be with other owners and get one amazing idea? You run in a world where you're usually the only entrepreneur, your only business owner. So he's put together a special group of guys where you can actually hear a wonderful idea, or even more importantly, hear a series of ideas where you can work with other guys who can help you unlock some of the things that are important in your business. So going forward, I'm committed. This is I've just built a tribe, another tribe to add to my network. And so even if it's just, like, it's almost like you're missing out, but the board of advisors, you've added a piece to your team.
Powerful, great organization you put together. I was immensely impressed. If I was going to recommend some of the board of advisors, and I have, they would be the people that can make an immediate impact on their business and just take it to the next level almost instantaneously with the people that are in this group. I mean, I can see the opportunities right now. It's immense. Like, nowhere else are you going to find this type of opportunity. And you can go to 100 networking events, waste of time. Come to this, you've got your value. I've been an investor, angel investor, for the last 2 years in the cannabis sector. As I've seen hundreds of business plans, I've been focusing on what makes businesses exceptional. So you'll see hundreds of business plans and you'll find, all right, there are a lot of similarities, but you have to really get granular on why you're going to invest in a company. First thing is you got to make a connection with the team, the principles of that company, of that idea, because no matter what happens in the future, one, they're going to be your partners. You're putting a lot of money behind them. So you got to make sure that money is going to be successful, and it's the people that make it successful.
I walked in here yesterday, if I could be completely transparent, thinking, you know, this is probably going to be another Me Too event. So I created my talk based on, you know, and here are my numbers and here's all the great things that I've done. And seeing how comfortable and how welcoming and how open this room was and how amazing these people are, I let my guard down and I allowed myself to be vulnerable, and I put myself out there. This wasn't a backslap-a-thon. You know, everybody was very gracious with their time and their thoughts and their ideas and their connections. Just genuinely looking to help, not dangling the carrot. It wasn't like you know, if you know, give me this and I'll give you this, like we'll trade. It was, you know, it was really very, you know, very like a giving environment. I don't think it would be for newbies, only because. Mainly because you know, you want that high caliber of like, I want to walk in here and I want to be stretched you know, from every possible angle, and that's what there is here. Now there are people that are all over the place in terms of experience and success, but they're very successful in other areas where other people are not, and so there's a really good mix of you know, like everybody in this room had an idea for somebody else at some point. Like, there's not a single person that sat back and just took without giving, and so. So I would keep that. I think I would protect that with your life. Like, that's the most important thing, and that's just because you created a very well protected environment. You've allowed the space for that. This was worthy of my time. Absolutely.
Very strong group of entrepreneurs in a lot of different sectors and a lot of different types of businesses. But many times the best ideas I get come from people not in real estate. So I'm in a room right now full of players that are not necessarily in the real estate industry, and I'm getting a lot of great ideas already today. If I'm a real estate investor and all I'm doing is talking with and mentoring with other real estate investors, then I'm in that little real estate box. So one of the companies I own is in Puerto Rico, and there are a myriad of ways you can take advantage of the tax benefits there. But what keeps me from taking advantage of some of them is just information, or knowing what to do or who to talk to about that. So what he brought up this morning is an avenue I have not explored yet, so that could be huge for us. Making one little change maybe that is just a small percentage, but when you look at a whole year of saving that small percentage, is huge. We're talking 6 figures to your bottom line, and it's knowing what to take out too. Yeah. It's what to get rid of in your business. And this group obviously has done it a lot in their own businesses. Even though we're in different businesses, we face a lot of the same problems, and a lot of times it's a mindset or a paradigm shift that has to take place in our mind, and that's where I think those big leaps happen. I feel comfortable and I feel accepted from the people here, yet at the same time, I also feel like they're going to speak up and hold my feet to the fire. But to me, that discomfort for me has always been commensurate with business growth and ultimately adding more fulfillment or more to that bottom line. So I came here to get uncomfortable, and I've been comfortable in my discomfort here.
Honestly, it was beyond what I expected. Not kind of knowing what you're walking into with people's genres, where they are kind of like on the walk of life, where they are entrepreneurially and from a business perspective. It's certainly interesting just to hear different people's perspectives of where they are, beyond just being a humbling experience, because I think we've all been there where we're all starting out, we're all trying to find our way. I'm attracted to entrepreneurs, people that just want to kind of like push the envelope, want to do something greater, whether that be for their economy, whether they want to do something for themselves personally. I just like people that like this push themselves to do something greater. Whatever that means, whether form, whatever fashion, that's something that's exciting and intriguing to me. Honestly, the whole point you come here is that you like the synergy and the energy of people. Things that are trying to build things that are greater than themselves. Doesn't matter if you're coming from a real estate background, a background from the car sales space, or just being an info marketer, if you will, from being a place of vulnerability and saying that these are things I'm good at and these are things that I'm not good at. These are things that I want to be better at. Can you help me? That's a really vulnerable place, especially for like a business person or an entrepreneur to say that I'm not good at something, because I think intrinsically we just kind of posture ourselves to just be better than what we are, and that's not always factual. That's pretty powerful.
Everyone has to answer the question, whenever you do anything, is it worthy of the return on investment of my time, talent, energy, and money? What I watched today was that people played at a level that you rarely ever get to experience. It's not for newbies. So first of all, because I don't think they're ready for what's going to happen in here. You have to come, the people that need to be in here are the people that are seasoned or successful in business to a certain degree, where they're ready to step their game up and willing to be challenged. Because that's what that a really good mastermind is about. It's about opening yourself up to be willing to be challenged so you can grow. One of the things I'm very, very big about, and that is no growth happens inside of a comfort zone. And you've set the tone in here, Mike, with this is not a place to be stationary and comfortable. This is a place where you come in, you're loved, you're not vulnerable from a standpoint of having your information leave here, but you're rather in a family now that can challenge you to step your game up and get the real growth that you need. Because most of us get stagnant in our own lives, and we need to be playing around other A players so we can keep our game sharp. It wasn't only about how can we give to people and help elevate them and help create great ideas that can make massive differences in their business, but also in their personal lives. But Mike also said, I've got some real life experience of where I've blown it. Let me help you. Let me share that with you so you can avoid those pitfalls. And that in itself is probably worth way more than what you can actually do to improve. What you can do to avoid the major pitfalls is massively valuable. These are all smart individuals. I sat back yesterday and I listened to some literally intelligent minds, bright minds, people that are very accomplished in so many ways. And I thought, what would be the best thing that I could share with them that would serve them? And the thing that was running in the back of my mind was a quote that comes from Jesus, and it says, what is it that a person or a man or a woman, that they gain a whole world and yet lose their soul? And the challenge for me, and to share with them, and hopefully they'll join in that challenge, was to really question, what is it all about? So everything you do in business, and every achievement you have, does it fit into your purpose in life? And I think that's really the bigger call and the bigger challenge that came up today. And everybody responded very positively to it because it resonates with them. These people here are not just about money. They're about, what can my business do to lead me to the place in life that I can actually do what's really important and what I was meant to do here on this planet?